everybody, it's been a minute since I've done a Jerody Byte and had to take some time off, so unfortunately missed Father's Day, but it only has just passed us and it is my husband's birthday month. So in light of that, I am sitting down with the inspiration behind Jerody Bytes, the head and priest of our home, my husband, Gabriel Pillay. Check it out. Hey everybody, Gabriel Pillay.
Hello.
So, Faye, what is the best thing about being a man?
Apart from being able to go to the toilet standing.
Yes.
I think we live in a world where there's not many things that a man can do that a woman can't. So if I have to think about myself and the best thing about being a man, I think, had I not been a man, I could have not been your husband. So the best thing about being a man is that I get to be your husband.
Oh, wow. Okay then. Question number 2. Why did you decide to get married early instead of enjoying your 20s and then getting married or settling down later?
It's a family show, right?
Yes.
So I guess I'll answer that with a scripture.
Okay.
1 Corinthians 7 verse 9. You can Google that in your own time.
Okay, speaking about marriage, what has marriage taught you?
I think the key thing I learned being married is to close my mouth in an argument.
Okay, but truthfully, you are always right.
Especially because I'm always right.
Okay, do you have a more serious answer for us?
I think the biggest benefit of marriage for me is that the Bible says where there's unity, God commands blessing. And if any two shall agree on anything, it shall be established. And I don't think you can be at unity with anyone more than you can be with your wife. And no one will stand with you and agree with you more than your wife. So the benefit of having a wife is having that person that you can fully trust and confide in.
Yeah.
And generally, especially when it comes to your desires in life, your wife or your partner will share the same and will genuinely be standing in agreement with you.
Yeah. Well, there you go. What's the best and worst thing about being married?
Best thing about being married, refer to question 2.
Okay, fair enough.
The worst thing about being married, I think in the context of our marriage, is that I didn't marry you sooner. It's something I regret.
Okay, and this is how my husband puts the con in consulting. Okay, so we've touched a little bit on marriage and we are parents of 2 little boys. So, what is your best and worst thing to do with your boys?
My favorite thing to do with the boys is on a Friday night when they go stay at your mother's house. My favorite thing is dropping them off.
So I'm assuming the worst thing is getting them back on the Saturday. Okay, in all seriousness, what do you enjoy doing with your boys, or what do you enjoy about being a dad?
I honestly enjoy spending time with the boys. Playing golf with Kai. I love jazz's affection. Pancakes on a Saturday morning. McDonald's Fridays. Yeah, just spending time.
Fridays.
Is that going into your kilobyte challenge?
As a dad, what are some of the pressures or concerns that you face?
I think the biggest pressure and concern is that I know God has a purpose for our boys. He doesn't put anyone on this earth without a plan and purpose.
Yeah.
And the responsibility I have as a father to train these boys up. The Bible says train up your child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. So I have a responsibility to train these boys to fulfill their purpose.
Yeah.
And that means, seeking God's face, asking God that I put on the mind of Christ, so that I can teach these boys what they need to be taught in order to fulfill their purpose.
Yeah.
And extend the kingdom, hopefully.
Glad the buck stops with him. So it's our final question. COVID has obviously affected everybody across the globe, whether it was their health, financial, relationships that the people have had to manage. So how has COVID affected you, or the pandemic affected you, and what have you learned from it?
I think the thing I've learned from COVID is to understand that in life we go through seasons. And I think we spend a lot of time as Christians focusing on good seasons. And I mean, me, I love the prosperity message, So I love, I was the kind of guy that say, recession can't touch me because I'm a giver, And we take all these scriptures that apply to a season of blessing and we feel that that is the season you live through your entire life. And what I've learned through COVID is the Bible does not hide the fact that we'll go through seasons. And we'll go through good seasons and we'll go through bad seasons.
Yeah.
And Ecclesiastes 3 says there's a time and a season for everything, a time to mourn, a time to be joyous. So the Bible makes it very clear that we'll go through seasons. And I think COVID has made that a real reality for us to understand that there will be seasons in our life, and we need to be wise in the good seasons in preparation for the bad seasons. So, for example, when Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, the dream was that there would be a period of increase and a period of famine. So Joseph, in the time of increase, laid up storehouses where he stored 20% of all the grain that was produced. And in the time of bad, he was able to supply all of Egypt and those around when the famine came and no one had any stocks. And he was able to sell it and take over. So ending up, taking over all of Egypt for Pharaoh. So it's about planning for the bad season and the good seasons. And the second thing that I question is why do we need to go through these seasons? And I think the big understanding I got was when Jesus preached about the vine. He says, "I am the vine and ye are the branches." And every branch that doesn't produce fruit, he cuts out, which means that we have a purpose, we put on this earth to produce fruit. That fruit could be, spiritual fruit that we know, love, joy, peace, exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit. It could be saving souls. It could be helping others, helping at your local church. So step one is, as a Christian, we have a responsibility to produce fruit, good fruit. And secondly, it goes on to say, the branches that do produce fruit, he prunes. But pruning is also cutting. The difference between cutting off and pruning is that pruning is preparing the branch for the next harvest. And it says that every branch that produces fruit, he prunes so that it'll produce more fruit.
Yeah.
And then goes on to say that it'll produce much fruit. So Jesus is pruning us and putting us through these seasons so that we can be prepared for a greater harvest. The biggest thing I learned is pruning is not punishment. Pruning is preparation and preparing us that at the end we will produce much fruit. The trick is that we stay in the vine, and he makes it very clear that you cannot produce fruit unless you are in the vine. So in the bad seasons, we need to remain in the vine, stay faithful, and prepare ourselves, because the good season is coming. And when that good season comes, if we remain in the vine, we will be producing much fruit.
Thank you, Gabriel Pillay.
Thank you, Jerody.
I hope you enjoyed that. God bless you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, Gabriel Pillay. Come on, turn in. No, turn in this way. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'll answer that with a scripture.
Okay.
I need to find the scripture.
So what do you enjoy? No.
I think I enjoy spending time.
No, wait. Okay.